Good morning, children. Here is Sumati, your social studies teacher. How are you, children? I think you are fine. You are safe at home. Take care about your health. Don't go outside. Stay at home. Okay. Okay. Now let us start a lesson. Energy from the sun. This is a new topic. But before going to that, just I want to revise the previous lesson. That is, we learned about that who prepared the maps. First Sumerians, Babylonians, they prepared, and even cartographers prepared that as per the Ptolemy's books, the maps, and even the population density, the number of people living per square kilometer of area is called density of population. And even how the maps were useful. Of course, you know that at present China and India war is going on. That how they are grabbing from the Google the maps they are taking and they are using. Of course, whatever the maps we studied, this all it's mentioned. Now I'm going to teach the topic energy from the sun. In this topic, of course, in this lesson, we are going to cover the topics solar energy and sun's rays and earth's surface, land and water contrast, heating of the atmosphere, heat balance, the temperature of atmosphere, high and low temperatures, moderate and extreme climates, height and temperature, inversion of temperature, temperatures near and far from the equator, why is the north cooler in winters? So from these topics today just I am covering that first starting topics, that is solar energy and sun's rays and earth's surface. Now let us go through the lesson. The earth on which we live is totally variations are there. That means so many differences are there. What are those differences? Oceans and continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, rivers, lakes, ponds, so many are there. And in this topic, as per the temperature we are going to learn, this lesson you cannot see that. We have to feel it. And as per the temperature, some of the areas we can get that high rainfall, some of the areas less rainfall. How the actually the temperature variations are there on the earth, no? So how it is useful to the humankind? So many uses are there. That is, some of the areas warm temperature is there. That means more heat. Even that helps that to get the more rainfall and to the trees to grow, and such a way it is helpful. Suppose you see that cooler areas, actually it is covered with ice. As per that, in that area depends upon the vegetation or the animals. Even the temperature, wherever it is variations are there, as per the temperature winds and rains are there. Means if the more temperature, as per that the winds and rains depends upon. And even plants and animals also grow as per the temperature. Already just I said that in equatorial area we can see that because of the more temperature, it is always hot. When it is hot, automatically it absorbs more moisture. Because of that reason, it has more moisture. No, it gets the heavy rainfall. Actually, one of the saying is there in the equatorial region, or rain follows the sun. That means always in that area hot climate, and along with that they get the heavy rains also. So as per this we can see that there the thick forests we can find it, and those forests, the trees we cannot see the top of the tree. You know that such a high trees, tall trees we can see that, and we cannot move in the thick forests. Even creepers, climbers, so many will be there. Even such a dangerous animals also we can find it as per the vegetation. And if you see that in the polar areas, we can see no vegetation. That means some of the areas very less plants we can find, otherwise no plant only. In such areas, we can find some more animals also are there. Those are polar bear, musk ox, or even sea lions, seals, and even more quantity of krill also we can find in such a regions. Krill means small prawns and fish. And such a area, for example, you can see that Antarctica we can find that or we can get it penguins. Penguins only we can see in Antarctica. We cannot see in other areas. Means as per the temperature, the plants and animals we can find it. And in this lesson actually it depends upon temperature. Now we are going to learn about that, how the temperature we are getting, how it's spread. Now you see solar energy and sun's rays. The sun is the main source of the energy on the earth's surface. We know that every day we are getting day and night. As per that, on the day we are getting the sun's rays. That is only always for us providing heat and light. Even this energy always emitted by the sun. That means always released by the sun. That is called solar radiation. And this solar radiation, as per this we are getting that even heat and light. Actually the heat we can feel, light we can see. You know that. And here along with this some more we get that actually we cannot see or we cannot feel that. That is UV rays, X-rays, or maybe the X-rays and radio waves. These are all which we cannot see or which we cannot get it on the earth. And these are not only this, even another thing it is there, when a body gives out energy it is called the radiation, but when the solar radiation is received by the earth, that is called insolation. That means incoming solar radiation. Here you remember children, one thing, the sun is providing totally or releasing the energy, it is called solar radiation. That from that solar radiation some part of the energy is received by the earth, it is called insolation. And whatever the earth is receiving that insolation, totally it cannot keep it with it. Suppose it got it 100%, whatever the heat received by the earth, it is, suppose you can think it 100% of the heat. From that 100%, again it releases it back to the atmosphere, that is 1/3 of the heat or 30% of heat, that is called albedo. Actually, when the energy reaches or the heat reaches to the earth, first directly it goes to the earth's surface. Afterwards, from the earth again it reflects back to the atmosphere. That means first earth gets the heat, then around the earth whatever the atmosphere is there, that gets the heat. And when it is getting, even in the atmosphere, the clouds, the dust particles, those are also gets the heat energy. Okay, I think now it's cleared. Now we are going to go next one, that is sun's rays and earth's surface. You can see that how it is getting. Even the rays that reach the ground do not hit the earth's surface uniformly. You see that actually here it is given the level surface, but as you know that earth is a spherical one. So because of that reason, whatever the rays we are getting from the sun, it cannot or do not hit the earth's surface uniformly. The same amount of solar energy falls on a smaller area on the equator. See, so on the equator, direct sun rays will get it. That means small part of the area only, it gets the more heat. And on a larger area, as we move north or south, as we are going from the equator to the north or south pole, you can see that the slanting rays will get it. As per that, how the slanting is going on, as per that, wherever the area it is getting the sun rays, that area maybe becomes larger. When the direct rays it is getting on the equator, it is smaller area more. But while it is going to the slanting rays, at that particular area, that same amount of radiation only or energy only, larger area it gets. Thus it will get the warmer on the equator than near the poles. As per this only, in equatorial area it is more temperature, and as we are going to the polar region it decreases. Now you see that the incoming solar radiation, that means on the earth's surface we are getting no, the earth is absorbing, from that 51% is observed at the surface, and how much it is reflecting, you see 4% is reflected from the surface, and by the clouds 20% it is reflected, by atmosphere 6%. Altogether it is 30%. That is only called albedo. I said, one third of the 30%, that is albedo. And 19% is observed by the atmosphere and clouds. So 51, 19, 30. Altogether it is 100%. Got it, children? Now let us learn angle of incidence. What is angle of incidence? The angle of the sun rays reaching the surface of the earth is called angle of incidence. And how we know that? Actually, we know that earth is a spherical shape. As per the spherical shape, actually the receiving the rays of the sun also difference is there. And how we know that? Actually, you see that this is the 0 degree of the earth, that is equator. And this is the equator, you see. Okay. And from the equator, if you go through that 90 degrees north, 90 degrees south, whatever it is maybe, it is the right angle. That is as per your mathematical calculation. And here that 90 degrees of the area, suppose you see that as equator to towards 0 degree to 90 degrees, if we are moving, the rays of the sun falling slantingly. You see that? Here direct rays, here slanting rays. And as per this table, once you just see this, if the insolation received at the equator, that means 0 degree is 100 units, because it gets the direct rays, that is 100 degrees, 0 degree, 100 units of energy, suppose it is getting. As we are going towards the north pole or south pole, it decreases. That means the receiving of energy decreases. Suppose you see that direct it is 45 degrees from the equator, then 75 units of energy it gets. As suppose we are going 66.5 degrees, that is polar circle, that means Arctic circle or Antarctic circle, it is receiving 50 units of energy. As we are going, suppose towards the south pole or maybe north pole, it gets the 40 units of energy. And remember children, total earth gets the energy, but as per the position of the earth, it gets that less or more. It's not such a place, no area gets the sun rays. Okay. And here 40 units of energy it gets. So as per the rays of the sun falling on the earth, the receiving of energy depends upon. That is called angle of incidence. This is the time to go. Let us go for assignment. That is, write the difference between insolation and radiation. What is insolation? It is the energy received by the earth is called insolation. What is radiation? The energy emitted by the sun is called radiation. Albedo. What is albedo? Whatever the earth's surface gets the energy, the 30% or the one third of the energy released by the earth into atmosphere is called albedo. And even the other questions, by listening the lesson, you do it children. That's all for today. Bye bye.